Yeah, I'm standing on a blue and black deck, or I was, that was in review, and I'm going to show you here at Camp G-Max just how to make that deck in just a moment. Yeah, just getting ready to have breakfast here, but yeah, I'm going to show you how to make a simple deck with no collision on the bottom. We're going to do like a 10 by 10 deck. Dedicate this video to all my friends over at Blues Buggies and Ladybug that wants to learn how to do this kind of stuff. So I hope you learned something as well from the video. And so, you know, without much further ado, let's just run right over to G-Max and try to do this before my breakfast gets cold here. Okay, you just got here just in time for breakfast. All right, here we are in G-Max now, and we're going to what I've done here is, okay, my perspective view here, I'm going to click on it, go into my perspective view, and we're just going to make a simple 10 by 10 deck. We're going to start out by grabbing a plane. All right, we're going to make sure that right down here that it says 1 and 1 on lengths and segments. You don't want it to say 4 and 4. You'll have too many verts. So make sure it says 1 and 1. Okay, and you start making your plane right here, and then drop over here right under where it says perimeters there. See that? You're going to want to put a 10 on the length and a 10 on the width, just like that. Okay, you kind of zoom in on it with your scroll mouse so you can get a good visual of it. And then what you want to do is click on the little 4 arrows up here at the top. See that? You're going to click on that. It'll turn orange. And then drop your mouse right down here to the bottom and highlight the X and put 0 there and put 0 on the Y. Now you know that your deck is totally centered right here. Okay. Now you can either hold your shift key down and right click, which will bring up a left click, I'm sorry. Hold your shift key down, left click, and it'll bring up this copy. You're going to want to copy this plane, or you can go up to edit and copy and clone, rather, right here. Click on one of them, and right at the bottom you're going to want to go 0.02, and it'll pop that one up, 0.02, and it'll pop it up just a little bit. Now while that's at 0.02, go ahead and clone this thing a couple of times. One copy, make it LOD 1. Okay, make another copy by holding your shift key down and left clicking, and name this one LOD 2. All right, do it one more time. We still need a LOD 0. So hold your shift key down, left click, name this an LOD 0, and that takes care of all of those. Actually, we should have just done maybe LOD 0 and textured it before we made the clones, but we've got them now, so we'll just go with that for now. We're going to go to our drop down box, and we're going to select plane 1 and plane 2. Those are our 2 collision planes that we made earlier. We're going to select those, and we're going to tell it to hide the unselected. So that's all we have now. We have one sitting at 0, 0. We have the other plane sitting at 0.02. So what we're going to do with those is we're going to go to Compound Objects, and we're going to click Connect, pick Operlin D, and then click, and that connects. And then just go ahead and click one of these arrows up here to get out of that. Now whenever we look at the bottom of this, you can still see all the way through it. That means there's no collision. And you have your collision on top. Now then, after we've done that, we can right click and say unhide all. Okay, remember I told you at the very beginning I should have just made a LOD 0 and just left the 1 and 2 for later. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to select 1 and 2, and I'm going to go ahead and delete those. Now we're on the same page. Let's just act like all I did was made the LOD 0. Alright, so we're going to select LOD 0, and we're going to put a texture on that right now. Alright, I've got a got a texture here I'm going to drag over, and it's my Circuit Rider logo kind of texture with the rocks and the Circuit Rider horse there. Looks pretty cool there. Alright, now with that done, we're going to clone that again now. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up. Something happened here. Okay, I'm at LOD 0. I'm going to go Edit, Clone, and I'm going to make this LOD 1. Okay, and then I'm going to clone it again and make it LOD 2. All right, now that's it. Now, just to rehearse what we've done, this plane 02 is we want to rename that now Collision, COL. That's the two that we joined together. One of them was setting at 0, 0, and the other one we raised up 0.02 and attached them. And that's what you see there. You can barely tell that they're just a little bit apart. But if you want to get it into there, you have to have at least a 0.01 or 0.02 for the collision height, or it just won't go in, I found out. So anyway, we want to make sure everything that's sitting at 0, 0 and 0.02. We're going to unhide all. Okay. LOD 0 right there. We need to make sure that LOD 0 is at 0.02, and it is. Because, okay, 0.0, okay, LOD 2, they're all sitting at 0.02. That's good. Now, so the next thing we want to do, we've actually got it all built now. You can still see all the way through it. Now, in the previewer, if you want both of these sides textured, because it's a plane, you can't texture the bottom side of a plane. There's nothing there to texture. So what you do in the previewer is just make sure you select both sides. Put a little check on you want both sides textured, and then it'll be there. And I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, we're going to now we're ready for the master node or the dummy node. So we click on this little, looks like a little tape measure with a little black red button there, and we're going to click dummy. We're going to put it right here at the beginning there, right there at the beginning. And you're going to want to make that, I always like to make that a little bit smaller so I won't have no problems with them. And then you're going to want to make that 0.02 as well. Just bring it up 0.02, and in the X we're going to put it on 0, so it'll be right in the center there. If I'm moving too fast for you, I'm sorry. All this is kind of just mundane, just you do as you go along. But this one here, this is a 10 meter deck, so I'm going to make this a -7. That's going to put it pretty. Ooh, let's put it way past the edge. Oh, that's right. Okay, keep this in mind. This is a 10 meter deck, so you're going to have 5 on this side of the line and 5 on this side of the line. So we actually want to do that about a 4. There you go. Now you can rotate around and see that it's definitely inside the line there. And we could go, just to make it a little bit closer, we could go actually 4.5 on that to put it right on the edge. Okay, with it. If it's too close to the edge, it won't let it go in. So that looks good right there. It's in the center this way, and it's right close to the edge. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to select this master node. Now it says dummy now, but we're going to change that to master because it is a smart. It's no dummy. That's what tells it where to pick it up, where to drop it, and all that in there. So it's a pretty smart node. Alright, so we're going to click on edit, and object properties, and that's, you know, because we have the master node or dummy node selected or whatever you call it. Some people just call it their model number. Like if it's a 10-meter deck, they'll change the dummy node to 10-meter deck. You can put whatever you want. Okay, now user defined tab, and we're going to go LOD 0 equals 75. LOD 1 equals 200. If you don't do this, it'll disappear real quick. LOD 2 equals 700. That's the maximum you can do for each LOD level. Okay, we're going to hit OK. Now, with all that done, we're ready to export this thing. So remember how we export? We actually click on, hold your control key down and click everything but the master node. You don't want to do your dummy or master node until last. You hit select, hit your link button up here. It'll turn orange. You go back to your drop down box. Now you select your master or your dummy node and hit link. And that's it. You're ready to export it. So go File, Export. And we're going to export this as 10-meter deck. Hit Save. Okay. And then now we're going to go to the previewer, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. Alright, here we are in the previewer, and we're going to hit File, Open, and we're going to go over to where I have the models. We opened up the 10-meter deck. 10-meter deck's open. You can't see it hardly unless you take your mouse and do this because it's pretty thin. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you didn't do the LODs in the first part, in the last part of that I showed you, this deck will be right up here, man, in the default. So you can see that. You can see it for a long ways off. That's a good thing to know. So we're going to go to Materials, and we're going to do this, and we're going to select. We're going to click two-sided, affected by light, so it won't glow in the dark. And we're going to go to my textures, and my deck textures, and Circuit Rider 2, open it, hit apply. And there it is. Now if you want to, you can rotate and make sure that it's on the bottom and the top. And it is. Got that cool orange background. You can always change your backgrounds by going to View, Background, and set the color. And you can set it for whatever color you want. Which is extremely good for whenever you're going to take a snapshot down here in order to submit it to there. Okay. And we got a Circuit Rider 10-meter deck. I may actually put one of them out one day. I don't know. So there you have it. And I'm just going to show you real quick that when you go to submit to there, you click on submit to there, next, and then you click next. And this is going under deck foundation configuration 1, which means when you click the details, it's going to be pretty cheap. 1,100 T-bucks is the wholesale price, but it cost us developers $9,500 to put it in. But that's a pretty cheap wholesale price on that deck. I like that. But if let's say for instance you did something wrong, you know, you click on the details and it shows you right here. You'll have something highlighted in red that says your root node's in the wrong place and all that, or you got too many verts and polys. Then if that happened, then you just need to go back and fix whatever you need to fix and then come back to this. So anyway, my breakfast is getting cold here, and I'm sorry you know you can't stay for breakfast. I was going to cook you up a few eggs and do what? Oh, you're in a hurry? Okay. Well, we'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by Camp GMAX, and I'll just eat these right out of the pan since you can't stay. Catch you later. Bye-bye now.